Finally, we're back after over a year hiatus. Me and Ciryl finally signed on the dotted line. This is the 4th time we've been matched up together. He turned down the fight early on before we were both in the rankings. After that, he fought Spivak. I said in a post-fight interview after I beat Tibora,
I'm going to go to Paris. I'm going to be sat front row for Ciryl Gane against Sergey Spivak. I'm going to beat the winner, and then I'm going to beat John Jones.
I went to Paris. Ciryl, unfortunately, turned down the fight on a second occasion. Third occasion, I fought Curtis Blades. The original opponent was Ciryl Gane. Unfortunately, Ciryl Gane was busy that day. Ciryl was filming his Netflix series. Can't remember what it's called, but I'm sure you can check it out now on Netflix. And now we are matched up for the 25th of October, Abu Dhabi. Me and Ciryl. The 4th attempt is here, and this is Cyryl's 3rd title shot. So we are going to try and get rid of Ciryl Gane from the title picture for good.
Aspinall will face Ciryl Gane. Aspinall has 15 wins, and all of them are by finish. Gane is the #1 ranked heavyweight.
Now, when you look at the UFC heavyweight rankings, as I say, Tom has beat most of them, and he's beat them in style, and he's knocked them all out. Curtis Blades, Sergey Pavlovich, Alexander Volkov, whoever they are, he's beaten them all up. But Ciryl Gane is a little bit different. Now, of course, John Jones beat Ciryl Gane in quick fashion, took him down in the first round, submitted him with a front choke. But Ciryl Gane is the same as Tom Aspinall in terms of athletic ability. When I say that Tom Aspinall is a heavyweight George St. Pierre, that kind of goes to Ciryl Gane as well. The man's gigantic. He's very quick, he's agile, he's light on his feet. He could run any sport on the planet. And he's almost like George St. Pierre and Tom Aspinall in the fact that he's got all those athletic attributes and qualities, but he doesn't have the grappling. That's what cost him against John Jones. And that's probably what's going to cost him against Tom Aspinall. You never know. He could clip him. This is a dangerous fight. This is heavyweight MMA. But Tom Aspinall can grapple. We've seen him take people down. He's done jiu-jitsu since he was about 15 years old. His dad is going to be on his case, and that's an absolute fact. Saying, hey, you're not messing with this guy. Take him down. Show him what you can do. Show the world your grappling capability. Remember, Ciryl Gane turned Francis Ngannou into a wrestler. Okay, so he's a very, very credible threat on the feet. But of course, I do fancy Tom Aspinall to get the job done. The fact that he isn't fighting John Jones is insane, but we've talked about that till the cows come home, so I'm not going to bore you on that subject anymore. But just you wait. John Jones is probably going to pop up on Twitter.
Some fans are convinced that Tom Aspinall will steamroll Ciryl Gane. No challenge, no pushback. On the flip side, others see this fight as a meaningless D2, only happening because John Jones has spent nearly a year avoiding the title unification bout.
I had heard a rumor that John Jones wanted $30 million to fight Tom Aspinall. And I did hear that rumor. And I did hear that the UFC said yes, but it is not true. So Dana contacted me, said that rumor's bullshit. So I felt obligated to tell everybody that was a fake rumor.
What do you think the amount is that John Jones would fight him for, or do you think it's an amount?
Well, apparently John is thinking about retiring.
Yeah.
And he should. I mean, he's going to have to someday. He should. I'm not saying he should retire. I'm saying he should think about it. Give the man all the time he wants. He can fight whenever he wants to fight. That's John Jones. He's the GOAT. So leave him alone. If he decides one day to come back, and he comes back and he wants to fight Tom Aspinall for the heavyweight title, the question is, like, how long are you allowed to hold on to the title before they start having that conversation? Now, he just knocked out Stipe Miocic, so give the man months. Give the man 5 or 6 months. Just leave him the fuck alone. But at a certain point in time, you have to decide who the heavyweight champion is. And if Tom is the interim heavyweight champion and John decides he doesn't want to fight anymore, he could do that. And he could do that also and then come back in a year and fight for the title. He could do that. Like, He could do whatever he wants.
Do you think the Aspinall-Jones fight happens?
It's got to happen. I was sitting next to Tom the other week at the UFC in London and talking to him about it.
How do you think that plays out if they fight?
I'll be honest, Tom's a friend. I love Tom. He's one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting old, I just can't pick against John Jones. The one thing I do think John Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is his fight IQ. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person. As much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against John Jones. It's just something I couldn't do.
Did John Jones in some way ruin a legacy that could have been the greatest in combat sports of all time?
And here's my answer to that. The only reason,
one of the best of all time.
Here's my answer to that. The only reason it's in danger of being tarnished is because he didn't take this fight. Because we haven't been thinking about the past transgressions. We would think about this fight. And the fact that he's not fighting this guy, and it's believed, like the great DC himself is saying, yo, he's walking away because he does not want to fight this guy. That's bad. Dana White came to me and told me, look, Aspinall wants that guy. I hadn't even heard of Aspinall. I watched him a couple of times.
If he's really retired as a fight fan, I'm sad. I'm glad I saw him
very
fight
sad
at MSG.
Because I think he's the greatest. I think John Jones is the greatest.
Incredible watch. So if there's any chance he changes his mind, we'd all love to see
him. As you say, Molly,
yeah.
He's the greatest, but what are we talking about? Possibly, people are saying possibly is because he's ducking somebody. That's not good. That's not good.
Can you tell us the timeline of John accepted the fight, went to Thailand, came back, didn't want the fight? What happened?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Thailand was the end of it. You know, we were talking about it before that. But yeah, the fight was done. We had the fight done a long time ago. So why he decided not to fight, you guys will have to ask him that.
Is it accurate? There's a lot of reports about figures he was offered. Is it fair to say he was offered a lot of money to take this fight?
Yeah. Listen, he was offered what he deserves for that fight. Yeah.
I'll just come out and ask you. Do you think he's ducking Tom Aspinall?
No. John Jones, I said it a million times and I'll say it again. He's never ducked anybody other than that one goofy time with the Chael Sonnen thing. He's never ducked anybody. And, I think the reality is whatever changed his mind with this fight, I don't know. You'd have to ask him that. But, he's 38 years old and I don't know.
Do you think if it was someone like Alex Pereira, he would fight then? And it's maybe Tom that he specifically doesn't fancy the matchup, doesn't fancy the age difference?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to these questions. Only he does. We had the fight done. Listen, our job is to make the biggest fights we can make and the fights that the fans want to see. And that's what we try to do. But the minute somebody starts talking about retirement, my philosophy on that, you should do it.
Yeah. Did you know about the stuff that came out of Albuquerque last night?
I saw it today. When I saw it today, I said, oh, everybody's going to think this is why he retired. Maybe that is why he retired. Who the hell knows, man? But I don't know. These are all questions you got to ask him. Yeah. We had the fight done. You saw me talking about it very confidently that this fight was going to happen. And then he changed his mind.
Yeah. Two more quick ones for me. So for Tom Aspinall now, he's the heavyweight champion of the world. Does that defense he did against Curtis Blades count to his official defenses? Because then he would only have two more to equal Stipe, or does he have to start fresh now?
You guys are throwing shit at me that I haven't thought about. I have no idea, but I don't know.
Okay. It seems like the most obvious choice would be Ciryl Gane for Tom, but is there a chance here maybe that to start the new without John Jones era, we should maybe do a big super fight and maybe convince Alex Pereira to move up and do an Aspinall fight, something like that? Or what are you thinking about the Tom fight?
Well, once I get through today, tomorrow starts International Fight Week. I'll be back in Vegas tonight, and Tom will be there all next week. So we'll sit down with him, see what he's thinking, what he wants to do. He's been great through this whole thing, and literally said, "I'll fight whoever you guys tell me to fight. I'm ready to go." So, looking forward to the Tom Aspinall era.
And that's where the frustration really kicks in, not just for fans, but for Tom Aspinall himself. He stepped up when the UFC needed him most and claimed the interim title in dominant fashion. He was ready to go, ready to unify the belts, ready to finally earn the title of undisputed champion. But instead, he was left in limbo. John Jones got injured, then talked retirement, and the whole division hit pause. No updates, no timeline, no real explanation, just silence. The UFC stood still, and the reigning champ seemed more focused on vanishing than defending now. With things finally moving again, Aspinall's been given a new challenge. Ciryl Gane, a dangerous, elite-level striker with serious main event experience. But for many, it still doesn't feel like closure. This wasn't the fight fans were asking for. They wanted John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. Instead, Tom's been forced to switch gears and face a different kind of test.
I'm going to go to Paris. I'm going to be sat front row for Ciryl Gane against Sergey Spivak. I'm going to beat the winner, and then I'm going to beat John Jones.
I went to Paris. Ciryl, unfortunately, turned down the fight on a second occasion. Third occasion, around about this time last year, when I fought in Manchester. I fought Curtis Blades. The original opponent was Ciryl Gane. Unfortunately, Ciryl Gane was busy that day. Ciryl was filming his Netflix series. Can't remember what it's called, but I'm sure you can check it out now on Netflix. Ciryl was doing that, so he couldn't make that date either. And now we are matched up for the 25th of October, Abu Dhabi. Me and Ciryl. The fourth attempt is here, and this is Cyryl's third title shot. So we are going to try and get rid of Ciryl Gane from the title picture for good.
How's the confidence levels?
Confidence levels great. Confidence levels great. I believe that, well, I am the best heavyweight in the world, but I want to show everyone that I'm the best heavyweight in the world. Ciryl Gane's lost 2 title shots, and I want to give him his 3rd title shot loss and get him out of there.
How's the thoughts of potential ring rust as well? Is that in your head at all?
I've had big breaks before. This is it. I've had 3.5 years off of MMA fighting before, so this is no problem for me. Ring rust is all mental anyway, so I'm happy just to get back in there, get stuff moving, get active again.
And what can we expect? Tom Aspinall, October 25th. English fans there in Abu Dhabi.
Yes, this is great because we're on English time. We're going to be fighting on European time as well, so plenty of guys can fly over. It's going to be busy over there in Abu Dhabi, full of English fans, full of Tom Aspinall fans, which is great. We can just be expecting me, an improved version of me. I've had a year to train. I've had a year to test my skills and improve, and I'm going to show everyone what that's all about on the 25th of October.
In Baku, Azerbaijan, site of this evening's UFC card on ABC, Dana White is asked, maybe 11 or 12 minutes into the press conference, he is asked, what's going on with the heavyweight title? In essence, I'm paraphrasing. And he proclaimed, so he was sitting on this. He didn't even announce it at the beginning. Didn't even start the whole thing with it. Talk about burying the lead. He announces to the world, Jon Jones is retired. He called us last night. He is no longer the UFC heavyweight champion. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion. He is then asked in a subsequent question, all right, well, who is Tom going to fight? He said, oh, Tom's coming to International Fight Week. We're going to sit with him. You know, we got the meetings, all this stuff. They don't even have that ready. Did they tell Tom even before all of this? They say Jon Jones called him up last night. Coincidentally, 2 days ago, this interview with the Nelk boys that was shot on Saturday after the DBX card is making the rounds, where Jon Jones essentially says, I'm not so into it. He all but says he's retired. This could have happened 7 months ago. This could have happened on November 17th. The fact that the illustrious career of Jon Jones, the supposed greatest of all time, ends at a post-fight press conference in Baku, Azerbaijan, is a joke. Is an absolute joke. I'm sorry, but this is an absolute joke. Tom Aspinall is going to Las Vegas. At the very least, present him the title. At the very least, do something to make it up for this guy who has been sitting there watching his career just waste away for the past 7 months. Oh, by the way, his last fight was almost a year ago, 11 months. Do something. This is the way it happens. This is the way it happens. Something that could have happened at the post-fight press conference in New York. Jon Jones never wanted to take this fight. And anyone who tells you otherwise is not telling you the truth. As I've said time and again, Jon Jones asked for a lot of money. He asked for the number that everyone was talking about. He's asked for a lot of money, and as I said time and again, he deserved that money. He earned that money. After much negotiation, the UFC got him that money. Did they ask for help? That remains to be seen, but they got him the number. And Jon Jones said he was in. And then a couple of days later, he said he was out. And ever since then, the UFC has been trying to convince him to come back, to take the fight, one last fight. And he said no. He's doing the reality show. He's living his best life. He's doing seminars, all this stuff. He's tweeting away. And so they've known for quite some time, several months, that he was out. Dana White told us a couple of weeks ago. What did he say? Jon Jones agreed. But I told you I told you all, he wasn't telling you the real story. He wasn't telling you the full story. The full story was he agreed and then he reneged. Dana White guaranteed this fight would happen. He guaranteed it would happen as recently as a couple of weeks ago. It was already not a thing. The way in which this has been handled has not been great. And the fact that Tom Aspinall, at the very least, couldn't get some sort of, oh, here's the belt, here's a ceremony, here's your fight, here's your date, is shameful. Now, ultimately, Tom doesn't care about any of this. He really doesn't. He just wants to fight. It was never about Jon Jones. As I've said time and again, Jon Jones was a great addition to the whole scenario, to the equation. Oh, wow. I could beat Jon Jones to become UFC heavyweight champion? Undisputed? Incredible. Look at me. Look at the stars have aligned for me. But ultimately, this guy just wanted to become champion. He wanted to prove he was the best. And by the way, he has been the best for the last couple of years.
Meanwhile, the man who brought the division to a standstill is suddenly back in the spotlight, once again trying to reinsert himself into the conversation. This time, it's talk of a potential return for a rumored UFC event at the White House, and that's why the MMA world is so divided. On one hand, fans are genuinely intrigued by the matchup itself. From a stylistic standpoint, Aspinall versus Gane is fascinating. Gane's footwork, sharp timing, and calm demeanor in the octagon have always made him a threat. But going up against someone like Aspinall, who applies relentless pressure, has fast hands, and blends striking with grappling effortlessly, makes this a compelling clash of styles.
Tom Aspinall's fight with Ciryl Gane, and give my breakdown of that. What took them so long to announce this? We all knew it was going to be this. Everyone knew it was going to be Ciryl Gane next. Look at that fucking smug French face on Ciryl Gane. Someone said it here in the comments. Gane's got the unlimited title shot glitch. So true. So unbelievably true. And that smug little pretentious French grin. You know what I mean? It's just horrible. It's horrible to see him just sort of waltz his way back into another title shot off of a robbery. However, this was always the fight that was going to happen. And I don't think there was any, conversations otherwise. So in my opinion, this should have been announced when they announced Jon Jones's retirement. And they should have done that not at a UFC fight night post-fight press conference in a one-sentence moment from Dana White. They should have had a moment where they set up a press conference between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane and then announced the retirement of Jon Jones and then announced this fight at the same time. It just feels weird to wait for them to do it now rather than when we all knew this was the next fight to happen, okay? But I'm looking forward to it and I'm nervous, okay? I'm extremely nervous for this fight. I feel like I haven't made a video like this in the whole year. I can't remember the last time I made a video reacting to big fights being announced. They're so few and far between, or it's just one big fight and nothing else. I feel like I used to make these videos back in the day every few months. We would get a bunch of big fight announcements. And now here I am doing it again. So maybe the UFC is really back. But Aspinall versus Gane, scary matchup. I think Aspinall's going to win by KO in the first round. If Taito Ivasa can ever drop you on your ass in an MMA fight after you've beaten him up for the whole first round, if he can find a way to find your chin in that second round and drop you at any point in your career, I think Aspinall will find it in the first round. And I do think we'll see a first round Tom Aspinall KO. I'm nervous though, man. You know, if Ciryl Gane wins, my life will crumble before my very eyes.
What are your thoughts on Ciryl Gane being potentially the toughest opponent yet for you? A lot of people say somebody you've not really sort of faced that type of fighter in the heavyweight division.
I think both me and Ciryl we both have niche style for heavyweights. We don't fight like heavyweights, both of us. So this could be the fastest, the best moving heavyweight fight that anybody's ever seen. We're both great movers. We're both light on our feet. We're both elusive. So this is going to be great. And by the way, all this stuff that I've just said previously, we actually made a video this time last year, a little bit longer, when we found out that Manchester was going to come and there was going to be an event in Manchester. When I thought I was fighting Ciryl Gane, but he declined it, we made a video there over a year ago now. And if you don't believe me, if you don't believe it on the timeline, look, got my teeth done now. Look at the old video. You want to zoom in on them?
Hold on.
Got my teeth done.
Let me get right in there.
I got the teeth done now. When I did this video, this was over a year ago. Didn't have my teeth done then, so get over there.
While some are locked in on the upcoming bout, others can't shake the feeling that this still isn't the fight Aspinall earned. After knocking out Pavlovich, stepping in on short notice to save a UFC event, and staying prepared for months, this isn't the unification bout he desired. And it's definitely not the showdown that would finally settle the heavyweight title picture. That fight is still Jon Jones. But Jones didn't show up when it mattered. Now that rumors are swirling about a possible UFC event at the White House, he's suddenly interested again. To many, it feels less like a move for greatness and more like a play for attention. Even Dana White has drawn a line, making it clear he's not banking on Jones to headline anything major anymore. After all the delays and uncertainty, Dana says he needs fighters he can count on. Right now, that's not Jon. It's Tom Aspinall. And now that Aspinall versus Gane is locked in for October in Abu Dhabi, the division is finally moving forward. There's progress, momentum, and a clear sense that Aspinall is stepping into the spotlight that should have been his long ago. The predictions are pouring in. Some say Gane's footwork and accuracy will keep him ahead. Others believe Aspinall's pace, power, and ground game will be overwhelming. But one thing's becoming clear. This fight is bigger than just another interim title defense. It feels like a new chapter, a statement, a changing of the guard. Tom Aspinall is heading to Abu Dhabi with one goal: silence the distractions, take command of the heavyweight division, and finally leave all the Jon Jones uncertainty behind, for good.